the shop. Today I have got drag link and tie rod ends, a steering damper, and if we have time, a ball joint A-frame assembly. An A-frame ball joint assembly. Hopefully we'll get around to it. I don't know. That little trip driving cars with Alex kind of cost me some time, but not complaining. That was an awesome thing to do today. But it's now about 12:30. The temperature outside is 93 degrees, and it ain't getting any cooler. So we're gonna do as much of this as I can before my, thanks for reminding me. We're gonna do as much of this as we can before my gigantic jug of water is depleted, which I'm already thirsty. It's a real treat living here in Arizona, I ain't gonna lie to you. I'm really not looking forward to this. This is gonna be so hot and miserable, but we're gonna get it done. We're gonna stick with it. We're gonna get this done. Then we're gonna go in and edit this video out. Which one should we do first? I'm thinking the drag link ends because I know they're easy. Or are we gonna do the steering damper? Let's do the drag link ends. All right, so for those of you playing secondhand Overland, the home game, we're back underneath the Rover. We're gonna take the drag link here off completely. And we're gonna start over here on the steering box like we did when we took the steering box off. So I'm gonna disconnect that end, then I'm gonna go over to the other side, disconnect the other side, pull the whole drag link out, and then when we got some room and some better light, show you how we're gonna take these drag link ends off, re-put them on, and then remount the drag link. Okay? Have fun. It's really handy. All right, one thing I'm gonna do, and this isn't any manuals or anything else, but it's just something that my dumbass is gonna start doing so I don't lose things. On this drag link, I do believe that both of these ends are threaded differently and you wanna make sure you get that right. Also, driver's side points to the up, passenger side is gonna point down. I'm just gonna take my ink pen, or my paint pen, put a little D on it for driver's side. And we'll put a P on the passenger side. Just mark them. Trust me, if you got a paint pen laying around, or even just put a piece of electrical tape around one side or the other and know which side that was gonna be, I have a feeling that's gonna save me some headache at some point. Or it might not, who knows? All right, next step, get out your Allen wrench, or your socket wrench. It's gonna be 11 millimeter. Back it out so you can spin it. Now, this is clearly left-hand thread, I think, or is it right-hand side? I don't know which one's which. Anyway, this is lefty-loosey, righty-tighty, so this is like conventional, okay? We're gonna set that down. I'm gonna go to the other side now, do the same thing. All right, look at that. That's the wrong way to go. I'm turning lefty-loosey and it's bringing it back on the inside, so we're gonna wanna remember that. The other thing you're missing out on here is that this drag link is still loaded up with automatic transmission fluid from the leak in the steering box. Well, let's see what this one does first. I'm not entirely sure what position goes with what, so I'm gonna have to take this out of the bag and just kinda start playing guessing game. The other thing I've noticed with these new ones, they're coming with lock nuts instead of castle nuts. The one that I just first pulled out is the TA1002. The TA1002 is matching up very nicely with the threads on the one we just pulled off the passenger side. Now, of course, I'm going to go back through this box and look at any of the other ones that have an opposing thread just to make sure that they're similar enough, judging by the looks of these. The closest match to the taper is this guy right here. This guy's a little bit narrower. There's an important step here. Before we put these in, we're going to use this anti-seize lubricant. I'm just going to brush some on the threads. God dang it, I just wiped my eye with my finger. I'm going to look like Left Eye for the rest of the day. Whatever, that's cool. Left Eye was a fan of Montero's. That's what she died in, so I like Montero's. I can be Left Eye for a day. Just that one soothing, relaxing thing you'll do all day. Painting yourself a happy little tree. So that's about far enough. Now we're gonna get the one that matched the other side, and this one was really easy because this was the only, well, was it the only left-handed thread? But it was the only one with those parts numbers. It matches up, it looks fine. Change your anti-seize. Now, the beauty of this whole situation is that everything in here was centered up when we parked it and we disconnected it. So nothing should have moved and the steering wheel should still be straight. I'm gonna try to drop this end in up here, and as I do so, I can churn the rod to adjust it. Now we've got a problem. It's coming back in too long already, so I need to get the other side to seat. And to back that side in all the way, I'm just gonna have to use a pipe wrench and twist on it. So let me go get a pipe wrench real quick. Now, I tried when we were, the other side's the side I gotta roll all the way in. We'll back that one in till it doesn't go no more. Now, the reason I'm using a pipe wrench like this is just simply because I don't have a vise, but I do have the steering knuckle on the other side. And if I can use it to hold that tie rod in while I spin it in over here with the pipe wrench, then, well, hey, I just used a vise without using a vise. What you can't see is I'm turning the tie rod in, or not, excuse me, I'm turning the drag link in until I get it close enough to seat it right up in there. Now, when you lose your washers and they all end up in the sleeve of your over, boom, shakalaka. Put the washer on, put the nut on, run it down. Okay, so in the interest of this not being a 6-hour video, I'm just gonna give you the quick rundown. Yonder you have the steering damper. This is gonna be the first thing that you're gonna have to take off. Now, what you're gonna need to do is, you're gonna want a 17mm gear wrench. Why a gear wrench, you say? Well, because there's a nut that goes onto here that you're gonna have to grab. Then you're gonna have to take a big old croissant, put it on the end of this thing, and then run your gear wrench around to get the nut off. I have already taken the nut off. I'm gonna take it off here at the very end, and then we're gonna remove the steering damper. Then we're gonna pull the tie rod, and the tie rod pulls out, behaves just like the drag link that we already did on the front side, so I'm not gonna waste your time with it. I'm gonna take the castle nut off, pull it off, get my puller out, pop, then go over to the other side and do it all over again. I'll check back in with you when I get the tie rod out, okay? We're back and I'm starting to look like Gary Oldman in The Fifth Element. I got the tie rod off. Something interesting that I noted here was that, you know what? Hold that thought. I'm gonna do the compression fitting over here, take this one off. Now what I did notice on these is that they're pretty much threaded all the way in on the ends. You can see it on the other side too. So what I'm thinking is I'm gonna take these out, go ahead and put the new ones in, seat them all the way in, and then hopefully our alignment's pretty close. And we'll check that. I'll show you how we're gonna do that later. All right. Oh yeah. And over here, it's just going to be the same thing. There's your adjustment one. We're going to leave this tight the way it is. We're going to take this one off, put it back in just like we did the other one, and then we'll crawl into there. I'm not going to come back to you unless something goes haywire here, okay? All right, anyway, what you didn't see there, what I just had to put the camera down and go for it on. I got the tie rod back in. and went to go try to align everything, but I'm not able to get everything loose. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to do the easy way out, and I'm going to go have it done at an alignment shop tomorrow or something. I'm going to go inside and set the appointment for that right now. Try to get back there on that A-frame ball joint, but the problem is that I'm having a hell of a time. I don't have a 30 millimeter that's shallow enough, and I also don't have a 30 millimeter spanner wrench, so I can't get a hold of that nut to get that A-frame ball joint out. Also, I'm thinking you got to jack the body up a little bit so that it opens some clearances up. I'm going inside. I'm going to call it a day. So until tomorrow, I'm Matt Kester. You can follow me on Facebook and Instagram at Frugal Explorer Dad. Check out the channel, Secondhand Overland, on Instagram, or our brand new Facebook group. Links in the description below. Till next time, be good. Now that all the passive bands are gone, got a little something for the diehards. Be good.